Devotees and friends, sitaram to one and all. At this time, may you put your hands together, close the physical eyes. As we concentrate and meditate upon that Divine Master, asking for guidance and protection, we all pray. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadisevitam Kapeta Jambu Palasar Bhakshanam Uma Sutam Shoka Vinashikarkam Namami Viganeshwar Parapankajam Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Saraswati Rupena Sanskritam Namastasye 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 Namo Namaham Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parang Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaham Nagindraharam Trilochanayam Bhashmangragaya Maheshwarayam Nityaya Shudaya Digamarayam Tasmai Nakaraya Namaha Shivayam Om Anjani Garbhasan Mukhum Vayu Putro Mahabam Kumaro Brahmachari Cham Hanuman Me Prasidha Me Om Bhurbhuvasvam Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasyam Dhimahi Dhyoyonam Prachodayam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhanaktum Saha Vidyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavarhitamastu Ma Vidvishabhahe Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Prem se bole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Gam Ganapate Namo Namam Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namam Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namam Ganapati Baba Moria Om Gam Ganapate Namo Namam Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namam
Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah Ganapati Baba Moria
Om Gam Ganapate Namo Namam Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namam Ashtavinayaka Namo Namam Ganapati Baba Moria
Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah Ganapati Baba Moria
Gam Ganapate Namo Namam Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namam Ashtavinayaka Namo Namam Ganapati Baba Moria Om
Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah Ganapati Baba Moria
Om Gam Ganapate Namo Namam Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namam Ashtavinayaka Namo Namam Ganapati Baba Moria
Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah
गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया।
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया।
गं गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया।
गं गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया।
बम्बोले 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 रे शिव बम्बोले रे शिव बम्बोले रे
बम्बोले 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 रे शिव बम्बोले रे शिव बम्बोले रे।
कोई चरावे पान फूल कोई चरावे माला
कोई चढ़ावे पान फूल कोई चढ़ावे माला
कोई
चढ़ावे माला
कोई मांगन मांग रही गोरे ले भला मेरे बम्बोले रे
बम्बोले 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 रे शिव बम्बोले रे शिव बम्बोले रे बम्बोले 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 रे शिव बम्बोले रे शिव बम्बोले रे
शिव बम्बोले रे
शिव बम्बोले रे।
प्रेम से बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की। रफी सिंह भजन।
सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सभनायक गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन 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 गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन। सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सभनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सभनायक गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन 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 गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन। मोदक प्रिय मुझ मंगल दाता 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 विद्यावानिधि बुद्धि विदाता विद्यावानिधि बुद्धि विदाता गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन मांगज तुलसीदास कर जोगे तुलसीदास मांगज तुलसीदास कर जोगे बस ही राम सिय मानस मोहे बस ही राम सिय मानस मोहे गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन 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 गणपति जगवंदन गणपति जगवंदन
Do one again.
जय 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 गणपति देवा जय 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 गणपति देव जय 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 गणपति देवा जय 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 गणपति
देवा
गजानना हे गजानना
गजानना हे गजानना
गजानना हे गजानना
गजानना हे गजानना
गजानना हे गणपति देवा
गजानना हे गणपति देवा
गजानना हे गणपति देवा
गजानना हे गणपति देवा
जय 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 गणपति देवा
जय 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 गणपति देवा
माता पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता पार्वती पिता महादेवा
प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। ओम सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्रामूर्ते सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमस्तुते। मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जल रे जुग जुग प्रकाश फैलाए। मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे जुग जुग प्रकाश फैलाए।
मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे युग युग प्रकाश फैलाए।
इतना मांगू भगवान आए अंधिया तूफान। इतना मांगू भगवान आए अंधिया तूफान। ओ आए अंधिया तूफान। ये ज्योति न बुझने पाए जुग जुग प्रकाश फैलाए। मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे युग युग प्रकाश फैलाए।
मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे युग युग प्रकाश फैलाए।
मेरे नैनों का ये तारा मेरा जीवन का उजियारा। मेरे नैनों का ये तारा मेरा जीवन का उजियारा। ओ मेरा जीवन का उजियारा। मुख कमल क्रोध मुस्काए जुग जुग प्रकाश फैलाए।
मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे मेरा दीपक जुग जुग जले रे युग युग प्रकाश फैलाए।
मनमोहन मधुर सलोना मेरा टूटन जाए खिलौना। मनमोहन मधुर सलोना मेरा टूटन जाए खिलौना। हो मेरा टूटन जाए खिलौना। नारायण जय नारायण
हे नारायण जय नारायण हे नारायण जय नारायण हे नारायण जय नारायण हे नारायण जय नारायण हे नारायण जय नारायण हे नारायण जय नारायण।
प्रेम से बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान के सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान के सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
भगत हरे हमरा अधिकारे, भगवान राह दिकारे।
भक्त रहे हमरा अधिकारी, भगवन राह दिखारे।
करम करम पर किरण बिचारे, भगवन किरण बिचारे।
परम परम पर किरण भिखारी, भगवन किरण भिखारी।
इन अखियन को प्रभु करारे, इन अखियन को प्रभु करारे। ज्योति से पहचान,
ज्योति से पहचान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे
हम तो हैं संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी।
हम तो है संसार तिहारी, प्रभु संसार तिहारी।
तेरी दया के हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है
तेरी दया के हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी।
दुनिया रोवे सुखी प्रेम से बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. Devotees and friends, this evening we continue with this wonderful discussion that we started last evening. And so, last evening we saw where ego, that ahamkar, it takes the most knowledgeable one that had come on earth, Vedvyas. And we would like, my dear friends, following up from last evening's katha, that each and every one of you, please check within yourself and see what level of that ahamkar, that ego, that abhiman is flowing. We'll all remember Rama's katha when Sri Ram was glorifying Hanumanji. And Hanumanji told to Prabhu Sri Ram, he said, "Hey Prabhu, save me, save me, save me." Prabhu Sri Ram was glorifying Hanumanji. He was not in any way doing anything that will, cause harm to Hanumanji. But Hanumanji was saying, "Save me, save me, save me, O Prabhu, trahi, trahi." Why? Because he did not want that abhiman, he did not want that ego to rise within him. So, my dear friends, I want to tell to you this evening, that ego is a big barricade to us. Vedvyas understand that from last evening, and so he went to the Satyalok where he having discussion with Brahmadev. And there he have asked Brahmadev to let him know and to tell him about this Ganesha. Who is this Ganesha? And this evening we would see where Brahmaji is not just only going to explain who is Ganesha, but he is going to take it in a very systematic way to lead us to understand Ganesha and the forms of Ganesha that we see here in this Yajnashala. We all pray. Gajananam bhutaganadesevitam kapeta jambo palsara bhakshanam umasutam shoka vinashikarkam namami Vigneshwara parapankajam. Om ekadantaya vidmahe Vakratundaya dhimahi tanno dante prachodayam. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaham. Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. Closing your eyes, my dear friends, I want you to visualize Sri Ganesh Bhagwan. And Sri Ganesh Bhagwan is in a tari in front of you. In your mind, you take a little water now when you offer on Sri Ganesh. Om Gange Che Yamuna Che Godavari Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Sri Jalpatre Sindhi Kuru Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. That same Ganesh in front of you, take a little hardi and offer on him now. Om हरिद्रा सर्वावर्णाभा सर्व्या सौभाग्यदायिनी सर्वालंकारमुख्यामि देवी त्वं प्रतिगृही त्वं. That same Ganesh Bhagwan, you take a little sindur and you offer. Om Sindhurang Saubharam Rektam Saubhagya Priyavardhanam Sukadhang Mokshadhang Cheva Sindhurang Sri Sindhurang Pratigritvam. Bow to your Ganesha in your mind and now put a chandan for him. Om Sri Kanda Chandanang Divyam Gandharyam Sumanoharam Vilepranam Suresretram Chandanang Pratigretvam. Offer little flowers to Ganesha. Om Malikadheshu Gandheni Maleneva Prabhum Maya Hirtani Pujayartang Sri Pushpani Pratigretvam. Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. Give him a little perfume now in your mind. Om Ghanna Ghanna Grihana Devasyam Deva Deva Dhayanidhim Tvam Eva Jagatang Natas Tvam Eva Jagatang Prabhum. Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. Take your lighting diya in front of Ganesha and do a arati for him now. Om Yani Kani Cha Papani Janmayarta Kritani Cheng Tani Tani Vinashayanti Pradakshina Pade Pare. Om Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. Take your doobgrass with 21 strings from your mind and offer it at the feet of Sri Ganesha. Om Kannat Kannat Prayohante Purusha Purushaspari Evano Sri Durbe Pratigretvam. Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. Take your laddu now and offer to Sri Ganesh ji. Om Brahmarpanam Brahma Havir Brahmgunu Brahmutam Brahm Eva Ghantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhinam. Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. Take a little water now and circle that prasad that you offer to Ganesha. Om Mandakini Astu Yarvari Sarvapapaharam Divyam Tatidam Kale Pratam Samyajyam Achmanyam Tvang Tvayam. You pray to Ganesha now, whatever wish, desire you have now, make it at his feet. Om Samukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnaka Lambhodarascha Vikto Viganasho Ganadipati Namaham. Om Dhumraketu Ganayaksho Balachandro Gajyanaham Dwadeshatani Namami Yatsrinudayapim Vedyarambe Vivahe Cha Pravishe Nirgame Tatham Sangrame Sankate Chay Eva Vignam Tasya Najayatim. Om Sarvesham Mangalam Sarveshantu Niramayam Sarve Badrani Pashyantu Ma Kachit Dukha Bhavim. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. So you have completed your Ganesh Puja, and now we are going to have Ganesh Bhagwan's Katha. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai.
Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Brighu bole he Vyas ji, Vyas ke dwar is prakar. Puche gaye prashanno kam uttaram bhatal neem kim. अच्छा से ब्रह्म की जीने। जय श्री गणेश जय जय
भगवान। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान।
कहा कि मैं गणेश जी के मंत्रों का बहुधाम विचार करने तुम्हें कर्म शाम सब कुछ बतलात हूँ। जय श्री गणेश
जय जय भगवान। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान।
ब्रह्मा ने कहा हे मुनि महात्मा गणेश के अनंत मंत्र है, उनमें से जो शीघ्र सिद्धू कर का है। जय जय श्री गणेश भगवान। उन मंत्रों के आप जाने विधि तुम्हें भात लात हूँ। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। अगम में गणेश जी के साथ करो मंत्राम बनीती है। हे मुनि उनके रहस्या को भगवान शिवा जानते हैं, और कुछ कुछ मैं जनता हूँ। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। ये दोनों मंत्रा सबसे श्रेष्ठ है, इस दोनों मंत्रों का स्मरण मंत्रा से सभी सिद्धियां हस्तागत होती है। जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश
जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति
जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति। So last evening, my dear friends, we ended our discourse last evening where Vedvyasji asked of Brahma, who is this Ganesha? What is his real appearance? And how can he be known? To whom has he previously been kindly disposed? O Brahmaji, how many are his incarnation, and what deeds did they perform? Who previously worshipped him, and in respect of what deed has he called to mind? I ask this through my mind. My mind is scattered. So, O Brahmaji, you are the receptacle of compassion. Tell me all this in great details. Bhiragu, that great sage, that Mahatma, is telling, he says, Vedvyas wishing to get the answers, Brahmaji then spoke, and he spoke, my dear friends. Brahmaji started his discussion after considering the multiplicity of Ganesh mantras. I am going to describe to you everything in sequence. Devotees and friends, so this evening, if Brahma have not answered your question about who is Ganesha, don't be disturb that mind, because he says that he is going to do this in sequence. So he is now telling to us, and Brahmaji comments, Brahmaji bole, he says, "O great sage Vyasji, since the mantras of the great Ganesha are endless, I will tell to you about the worship of him who brings quick success. In Ganesh sacred texts, there are 7 mantras, but I am going to tell you of 2 this evening." Children of God, why it is that Brahma starts with mantra? Remember, there is a wonderful verse in Ramayana which says that the name Sriram is greater than the person Rama himself. For it says Rama came on earth, and when he walked on earth, he saved few people, but his name saved multitude. So, my dear friends, Brahmaji starts this evening by telling to us the power of that mantra, Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. He's going to tell us the power of that mantra. So, devotees and friends, he tells to us, he says that that mantra, at the best of them, and by the mere recollection of this mantra, success comes into one's hands. But devotees and friends, the doctor can give you medication and tell you this is the best medication for your ailment. But if you take the medication and go and put it in your medicine cabinet at home and did not use it, of what use is the medication? How powerful is the medication? Same thing Brahmaji is telling us here this evening. This mantra of Sri Ganesha, by mere recollection of these mantras, one success come to one's hand. So when it says that Ganesha, Sri Ganesha, is the remover of obstacles and he brings success into our lives, it is not by just coming and offering some fruits and laddu and dub grass here and go back home and be your same old self again and believe that you are going to get the benefits that Ganesh Puran is, that Brahma is telling us all about. He says, "O great sage, by worshipping this Ganesha through the mantra, he says fortunate people are liberated. Whilst alive, we call that Jivan Mukti. And he says they are honored and worshipped even by gods." Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki. So devotees and friends, our katha continues again. Let us listen. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati,
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati,
Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan.
Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan.
जो लोग गणेश जी से भीमुख है श्री गणेश, अनंत का मुख भी नहीं देखना चाहिए, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। उनके दर्शन मंत्रा से पग पग पर भी ध्यान उपस्थित होते हैं। श्री गणेश भगवान। गणेश जी जो के आप सकता के दर्शन से विध्यान शंता हो जाते हैं और उनके उपस्का को सभी चरचार प्राणी प्राणमा करते हैं। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान।
जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान।
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय
गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति।
Ganesha tells to us again, by way of devotion to him, the perfected man engage, my dear friends, in service. The perfected man engaged in service. What is service? And I want to just pause here a little bit and try to understand what is service. Who is a dasa? Yes, we all believe that service will help us get the task finished. But service, my dear friends, is when you, as an individual, put your shoulders to the wheel and move the task forward. When you put your shoulders to the wheel and move the task forward, TASKS. My dear friends, so many of us sit back and we order this one, you do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. My dear friends, that is not service. Service is when you yourself put your shoulders to the wheel. There was once a community, and half of this community, my dear friends, were fortunate to have an abundance of milk. Pure milk. And there were another half of the community did not have milk. And the king told to the milk farmers, he says that I'm putting a tank outside the palace, and at 3 a.m. in the morning, I would like each one of you farmers to bring some milk and put into the tank so that I can distribute to that part of the community that does not have milk. And everybody agreed that they are going to bring milk. 3 o'clock in the morning reached, my dear friends, and all the farmers wake up to have their milking time. So we are going to use letters to give an example of farmers, to identify the farmers. So farmer A said to himself, farmer B have so much of milk, he go and full the tank. When I go, the tank won't have space for my milk. So let me give Farmer B the chance to go and put the milk. Farmer B think that Farmer D have so much of milk, and there is no need for him to go. Farmer D will fill the tank. And my dear friends, each one thought that the next one is going to fill the tank. When the morning reached, how much milk did they, king, have to distribute to those people who didn't have milk? None. Why? Because the farmers were not willing to push the task with their shoulders. They depended on someone else to do it. So too, my dear friends, in voluntary work, in spiritual work, you come out and do what you have to do and how much you can do. And I always make this statement: don't do more than you can do, because next day you're not coming back because you will be overworked. Do how much you can do when you come to do something, no matter who is there or who is not there, and you go your way. And if everybody came and did what they had to do, my dear friends, all the work will be completed. So here, my dear friends, Brahma is saying that the perfected men, engaged in service, and they perform that service with a great amount of joy and happiness, manifesting the devotion of Sri Ganesh in their heart. My dear friends, they perform this task. Tells to us they move at will. My dear friends, that omniscient, that Lord assume any form at will when he's ready. But the life of those, so he's saying that Lord will come to you in many different ways. Bare bhag, sorry, no, that's not it. Bare pyar se milna sab se duniya mein insan re. That you do not know in which form you will meet the Lord in this world. So be of service to all. Be of service to all. You see, sir, in times gone by, before I reach on the Singhasan, I would have 10 songbook around me. 2 nights gone and I have none. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki jai, Sri Ganesha Bhagavan ki jai. So devotees and friends, the perfected being of Sri Ganesh is of service. But Brahmaji didn't stop there. He said, but the life of those who do not even for a moment devote themselves to Ganesha, they will find themselves being worthless in society. They will find their life being worthless. It says that if one is against God, if one opposes God, it says you should not even look at that person's face. It's a harsh thing to say, but my dear friends, looking at that which is undivine will create a negative impact into your mind, and it will spoil that great puja which you just did at the beginning in your mind. Prem se bole Shri Ganesha Bhagavan ki jai. So it says, seeing one of his worshippers causes all obstacle to disappear. So when you look at a worshipper of Sri Ganesh, you just have to look at a worshipper of Sri Ganesh. and you will be able to get your obstacles disappear. How this is possible? Pandit, tell me how this is possible. You see somebody who is not devoted to Sri Ganesh, and oh, your day is spoiled. You have so many obstacles in your path. And if you see a worshipper, oh, your obstacles is gone. How this happens? My dear friends, in this whole world today, we live by vibrations. The world is sustained by vibration. Out here, my dear friends, there are sound vibrations. Sound vibrations, some with negative effects, some with positive effects. It is what you take, the vibration which you take and attune to yourself. That is what will help you. There are also sound vibration that you cannot see. Sound vibration flowing through this whole universe. If you have the right equipment and you turn in to TV Sankhya, then you will be seeing divine things to help elevate you. If you tune into the other channels, I'm not talking about promoting Hinduism, but those channels that show you the violence and all of that, and all those movies, what you call it, but with a lot of violence into it. Queen of the South and all of those things. It's only violence you see. What you're going to sleep with, and violent thought in your mind. So it is what you scramble, my dear friends, what you take is that we will have. Each one of you, now I'm breaking it down, I show you where there are song waves in all this and vibrations in the whole universe. Each one of you, if you don't know, I'm telling you this evening, be aware of it. Each one of you, according to the nature of your thoughts upon your mind, you are emanating a vibration which we call the aura. You are setting that vibration. Jits, have you not reached close to somebody and you're ready to run away very fast? You didn't see the person's face yet, but the vibration that emanates from that person, it happens in our own house. Sometimes you go on to work and something happens and the wife gets angry at home. From the time you walk through the door, you know you have to go in the room and be quiet. Don't say one word again. Because you get the aura coming out from the mind. Each one of us send that aura, that. Prem Saboli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavani Ki Jai. And I'm sure you all have experienced that. So this is the reason why I am showing to you, my dear friends, this is not just story that we're hearing. These are facts that Brahma is telling to all of us, that we need to make positive vibrations from our lives. And that can only happen if we become a devotee of God. Prem Saboli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavani Ki Jai. So now Brahma is telling to him, he say, I'm going to tell to you how to do this worship. Prem Saboli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavani Ki Jai. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai जय जय भगवान
जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान
तात एक ग्रचित से उन गणेश जी का मन सोपचर से पूजन करे जय जय श्री गणेश जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान तब यथा शक्ति पूष चरण पूछती से उनके मंत्र कर आप करे जब तात गणेश जी भरदान देना की प्रसन्न नहीं हो जाते और जब तक वे आपन स्वरूप नहीं दिखालाते जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान
जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान
तब तक मंत्रा जाप में निरता रहे जय जय श्री गणेश जय जय
गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति
Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So devotees and friends, it tells to us here now. It says that I am now going to tell to you about the worship and how you should worship. So it says, after the pure man, a very wise one, has had his morning bath and clothed himself in clean clothes, and then he make a seat for himself to perform his devotion. And I start from here. It says to perform devotion, you have to prepare a seat. So many people would say that Baba are on the move but are saying my mantras. Don't mind, I'm moving, I'm saying the mantras. Because this morning I was busy. My dear friends, this is not the method given by Brahmaji. Brahmaji says you must prepare a seat. And if you to prepare a seat, it means you must sit down and pray. You must sit down and pray. Prem Sabal Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavani ki jai. So he says here, you make that seat out of kush grass. What the kush grass represents, other than the kush grass is a comfortable grass, the kush grass represents Brahma, Vishnu and Shivaji. So you sit down there, my dear friends, in that consciousness of the creator, the sustainer, and the one who will reabsorb. So it says here, after you have completed the purification elements, Om Amrito Pasadal Masi Swaha Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha Satyam Yashas, and you make the sipping of the water and then you touch the different parts. Om Vakya Vak, Om Prana Prana, Om Chachu Chatur, Om Sotram Sotram, Om Kante, Om Nabhi, Om Hirdaye, Om Sri Padhayo. When you make those purification mantras and touching the different parts of the body with the water in the morning, devotees and friends, it says, and Pandit Jai always make mention of this. Each time that Pandit Jai is here and he's speaking to you all, he talk about that controlling of the breath. That controlling of the breath. So it says before you even start reciting the mantras, you must start cleansing the breath and all of that. Then it says you have to restrain the breath, hold the breath within the heart. And so, my dear friends, after you have performed that, then you start reciting the mantra. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. It says the ritual of the mantra continues. And that is where you have the repetition of the mantra. You should recite as much as you can. I remember I tell them sometime within the Ganesh devotion that all they would do, I think, was 3 malas. And they're waiting now for me to tell them to increase it. But Ganesh Bhagwan is telling to us, you can do as much jap as you can. And we have to remember that Prabhu Sri Ram had also demonstrated to us by telling to Jambavan that he wants a bridge built from Kiskinda into Lanka. And Hanumanji up and says that there is no need for any bridge. But my dear friends, Prabhu Sri Ram knew that out of the 18,000 billion monkeys there, all did not have the capacity as Hanumanji. Hanumanji had that capacity, my dear friends, that he could fly across the ocean without taking a rest. The rest of them didn't have that. So too, my dear friends, you must not and ever look down on another devotee. You never look down at another devotee, because everyone will practice to their capacity. Our duty, my dear friends, is to help lift them. If I am at a higher standard, then I must lift them to reach my standard. So, my dear friends, I have retired from my official job 5 years ago. And I went into community development. I spent 30 years in community development. So this would have been 35 years back. One of my first training that I got is where the trainer said, if you do your work well as a community development officer, you will be working yourself out of a job. And this is what you must do. Work yourself out of a job. What it means. Those who you are imparting your knowledge for, you must teach them in such a way that they would not need you at some point in time. Ravi, isn't that what I'm trying to do? Every effort that we get, I make sure that we set out Bedis here and everybody doing their own pujas. I am sitting a very simple Ganesh puja. Most of the members will be able to do. Simple Durga Ma puja. Most of the members will be able to do. So I am working myself out of a need for me being around. You must be able to manage. So too, my dear friends, this is what the Lord is telling to us, that we must be able, my dear friends, to bring the life up and know that everyone is not of the same capacity. It hurts me very much when I look and I move wrong and I see one looking down at the other. somebody singing a song, and because a next person present there could sing the song a little better, and the person might make a mistake or two, they laugh at the person. And we do that sometimes. Yeah, we do that sometimes. Well, I saw it happen once. I was very, very young. And this girl tried to sing and so on. And while she was singing, there were a few people smiling at how she was singing. Not because she was singing well. Today, 40 years after, that girl is reading Ramayana and everything else. And these people who had such wonderful voices does not even take the opportunity to sing and glorify God's name again. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. So devotees and friends, I want to tell to you, in no aspect of life must you look down at somebody. Somebody will talk to you and you feel they're talking stupidness. You say, oh God, I never hear dotishness like that yet. Don't classify it like that. Try to understand, my dear friends, that person's capacity and deal with that person so that you will be the better of the two. You will be the teacher. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki. So it tells to us that this job is very important. And so, my dear friends, when you perform job, Gajananang will be well disposed, he will be happy, and he will give gifts to you in his real form for as long as the person is absorbed in the recitation. As I always tell to you, the gift of God is not like a magic wand. When you get the gift of God, you earn it. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Bare bhag manush tanu power. That we get the gift of this body. And what are we doing with it? We are wasting it away, my dear friends. We are wasting it away. Just only fighting for the worldly things. That which does not belong to us, but belongs to the Supreme Master. Every single thing, as Isa Upanishad tells to us, mantra number 1, it says that all things in this world, animate and inanimate, belongs to me, and you will have your quota. Your quota will be determined by the accumulation of your karmas. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. Ganesh, anywhere wrong? You have a mic closer? So Dinesh will sing us a song. Then Pandit Jai will sing us, and then I will do the final verse for this evening.
गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम। गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम।
गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है।
शंकर बोले बाबा हो, शंकर बोले बाबा हो, डमरू बजाने वाले हो मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। शंकर बोले बाबा हो, शंकर बोले बाबा हो, डमरू बजाने वाले हो मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। शंकर बोले बाबा हो, शंकर भोले बाबा हो, डमरू बजाने वाले हो मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है।
शंकर भोले बाबा को, शंकर भोले बाबा को, डमरू बजाने वाले को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है।
सियापति राम को, सीतापति राम को, राधा जी के श्याम को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। सीतापति राम को, राधा जी के श्याम को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। सियापति राम को, सियापति राम को, राधा जी के श्याम को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है।
सियापति राम को,
सियापति राम को, राधा जी के श्याम को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। अंजलि के दूत को, अंजलि के पुत्र को, राम ही के दूत को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। अंजलि के पुत्र को, अंजलि के पुत्र को, राम ही के दूत को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम।
मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है।
ओम गं गणपते नमो नमः, विघ्न विनाशक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बाबा मोरया।
गणपतये नमो नमः, श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बाबा मोरया।
ओम नमो नमः देव नमो नमः, नमो नमः देव नमो नमः, विघ्न विनाशक नमो नमः, नमो नमः देव नमो नमः, नमो नमः देव नमो नमः, विघ्न विनाशक नमो नमः। ओम गं गणपते नमो नमः, त्रिविघ्न विनाशक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बाबा मोरया।
Bhagwan ki jai. Pandit Jai will now do us a chanto, a song, and then I will do the closing up of the katha.
गजाननं भूतगणाभिसेवितं कपितजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि भृगवेश्वर पारवङ्कजम् एकवाक्यशक्ति Gam Ganapate Namaha echoes throughout the whole entire universe, that manifestation of Gam Ganapate. When that manifestation have taken place, that loud sound of Gam, Ganesh appeared into the universe. He Gananata Gajanana, He Gananata Gajanana. गणनाथा गणपतये नमः सिद्धि प्रदायक गणपतये नमः. And there come the alankaram. Them 7 notes. Ni re ga ma pa re ga ma pa da ni sa re. Om bhuva om swa maha janah tapah satyam tat saviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi yo yo na prachodayam. Those are carrying the subtle violet vibration throughout the Sushumna. 70,000 over center in body. Gam Ganapataye Nama Om. Gam Ganapataye Nama Om. Nada Yoga Bhakti Kirtanam. Nada Yogam Bhakti Kirtanam. Gam Ganapataye Nama Om. Brahmadev, he declared, Gam Ganapataye ka mantram salvation mukti pradayanam tubhyam. Gam Ganapata Nama Om. Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah.
Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah.
Om 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 Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah.
Iti kante haste Ganapati mantram hirdayam uvachanam. Ganesha prasidam prasidam tutyam samarpayami nama Om. Siddhi vinayaka buddhi pradayaka he gananatha gajanana. He gananatha gajanana. He gananatha gajanana. He gananatha gajanana. He gananatha. He gananatha gajanana. He gananatha gajanana. Gam Gane Bhagwan ki jai.
गणेश भगवान की जय. जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति बोल. जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान. जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान. ब्रह्मा जी बोले हे मुनि तुम्हें व्याघ्र था कि कारणों से रहितम एकंतम और निर्जन स्थान में जाकर भक्तन गणेश जी का ध्यान करके हुए उनके मंत्रा के जाप का अनुष्ठान करो. जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान. मंत्रों में सर्वोत्तम इस एक क्षा गणेश मंत्र को नस्तक निंदा का. जय श्री गणेशम जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान. करो धूर चारी को और शत जैसे लोगों को नहीं भाट लाना, किंतु शरण में आए हुए धू भक्ति भले। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान,
जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान,
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति, जय गणेश जय गणपति, जय जय गणपति। हरि बोल।
जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति
जय जय गणपति जय
गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति
Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So it tells to us that to do this devotion, one must find himself into a spot that he would not be disturbed. And I want all the guys who are looking around for place for Visarjan to understand Visarjan is to be taken place at a spot where we would not be disturbed. Prem Sabole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So that's the first thing for the devotion of Sri Ganesh. You must purify yourself, you must prepare yourself and be in a position where you will not be disturbed. So Visarjan is not about a beach bath. Always remember that I stopped Kartik going to Kartik for the same thing because everybody forget the Tirat in Kartik and they only concentrate on the beach bath. So devotees and friends, it tells to us here that a person who is an abuser, a person who is pitiless, a person who is lacking good conduct, a person who is a mischief maker, one who have roguish attitude, this mantra should not be given to them. And I hope everybody here does not have these qualities. Because if you do, then hear what will be my predicament now. It says here that if this great mantra is being given to those who are hard-hearted, it says what has happened. It says the one who imparts that knowledge to one who is hard-hearted, one who is a mischief maker, one who is a rogue, it says he and 10 of his generation can face the pit of hell. So when, my dear friends, we build a vibration with, building you into that mode of satsang and all of that, through the vibration, through the chanting and all of that, is to help you that if you have any of these, negative thoughts, to flow it out. So when you come to a yajna shala, you must empty all the negative things before you come in here. Because if you come in here with those negative things, you are causing yourself harm and you'll be causing the Vyasji also. So you will have to work out on. Prem Sabole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki. So it says that the mantra should come to one who seeks refuge to the mantra. So devotees and friends, it says here, when one really accept this mantra with devotion, one obtain unblemished knowledge through the power of that Ekadanta, that Sri Ganesh with the one tusk. He will obtain liberation after he has first experienced all the worldly enjoyments in this earth. My dear friends, Ganesh offering, Ganesh devotion, it is one which will bring you great benefits according to the Katha. Devotees and friends, tomorrow evening, I could not pull in the full Katha together tonight because it will take too much of time. Tomorrow evening, we are going to see how the Lord Sri Ganesh came out of that lingam and how he manifested into three forms: the Brahma, the Vishnu, and the Shiva, who carries the three Devis, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga. We are going to see tomorrow evening, after a dissolution of the earth, how it was created. And you will come to understand tomorrow evening that Ganesh Bhagwan is not the little boy with the elephant head that everybody gives so much of trouble. You will come to understand that Sri Ganesh is beyond the little boy who refused to marry his mother's sister. Yeah. Everybody say that he should not, he and Tulsi had a big fight. He and Tulsi didn't have no fight. I want to tell to you all that outstanding tonight, my dear friends. Ganesh Bhagwan and Tulsi had no fight. Tulsi Devi was into a physical body coming. Tulsi Devi, my dear friends, is a part manifestation of Lakshmi Mata. And Lakshmi Mata is the sister of Parvati Devi. How could have Ganesh Bhagwan married to his mother's sister? Tell me if you want to come personality. But tomorrow you will get the physical. And you will get to understand the true depths. And who is this Ganesha? This Ganesha, my dear friends, is the absolute Lord. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki, Ganesha Bhagwan ki. So knowing this katha this evening, that we must be able to dedicate ourselves to Sri Ganesha. I wonder who is voluntarily and willingly ready to go for the next year. Today is the birthday of Sri Ganesha. Who is committing themselves? I wonder if they bring my tokens that I had to give to those who go in for the new year. Anushka, you bring those tokens? I want it. Om Sri Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Sri Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. I should see a line in front of me here already, Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. So my dear friends, it seems as though Ganesh Utsav end 2023 for Dharam Ki Awaaj. Because nobody wants to live it up again for the next year. So I'll go back with all my token. I'm sure if Uttam was awake, he would have reached up here first. So we start. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Sri 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 Gam Ganapatiye 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 Namaha. Are you expecting you first, son? Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Sri Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Sri Gam Ganapatiye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ganapati Baba Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ganapati Baba Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ganapati Baba Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ganapati Baba Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ganapati Baba Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namaha. Ganapati Baba Moria.
Who again? Dylan, Rajiv, Nav, Nayan, Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So devotees and friends, we have accomplished so much this evening. You know, at one point, give that little child that's there for me, please. You come. Right. Good girl. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So we'll now have Arti and closing prayer for this evening. I hope more of the younger people take it tomorrow. They think about it. You have from now until Sunday. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Who cracking coconut this evening? Om Sri Krishna Krishna Sagaya Pavitya Mamasya Vidyar Pradve Shri Dvala Kalipati Saptame Vaivas Manwantar Kalipatam Charani Jambu Dvipe West Indies Kande Arvatarike Desh Antargati Trinidad Desh Hari Om Tat Sat Namo Narayanaye Namo Namaham Gotra Namayam Sri Dehik Devik Bhautik Tapatre Nirvamurtya Devi Graharisham Muni Madhava ओम श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव।
जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव।
लधुवन का भोग लागे संत कर सेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देव। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव।
एक दंत धायवंते चार भुजधारी। एक दंत धायवंत चार भुजधारी। कि मस्तक सिंदूर सोहे मुशकी ये सवारी। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। जय गणेश
जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव।
और चढ़ावे फूल चढ़ावे और चढ़ावे मेवा। और चढ़ावे फूल चढ़ावे और चढ़ावे मेवा। भजन के पुत्र देख निर्धन को माया। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता
महादेव।
गम गणपते नमो नमः। सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा मोरया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः।
गणपति बाबा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा मोरया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा हरि बोल। गम गणपते नमो नमः। सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः। नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः
गणपति बाबा मोरया
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया ओम गम गणपते
नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
हरि बोल गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
ओम असतो मा सद्गमयं तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमयं मृत्योरमा अमृतं गमयं ओम त्वमेव मातं च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुं च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्यां द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवं ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की शंकर भगवान की पार्वती देवी माता की सनातन धर्म की ओम श्री गुरुदेवता की जय जय सीताराम all please have your seat arti prasad and your meals for this evening will reach to you सीताराम to all